Here's something that I hear all the time. If I want to make money with coloring books, I have to publish them on Amazon. I get it. Amazon is the biggest marketplace in the world for self-publishing, and I still think it's the best option for most people, especially if you're brand new. You can reach millions and millions of customers instantly without needing to learn about websites, payment systems, or driving your own traffic. But the truth that nobody talks about is that you actually don't need Amazon to make money selling coloring books. In fact, there are people running entire coloring book businesses completely away from Amazon, selling either physical or digital products, and in some cases, making way more per sale than you could ever make with KDP royalties. In this video, I'm going to show you how that works. We'll talk about why some self-publishers are choosing to sell off Amazon, what the pros and cons are, and I'll walk you through exactly how you can do this too with your own customers and your own rules. So if you've been thinking Amazon feels too competitive, or maybe you just don't love the idea of relying on one giant company for your income, this video is going to give you a different way to think about selling your coloring books. Hi, and welcome to Self-Publishing Central. My name is Caroline, and every single week I share real strategies, case studies, and behind the scenes tips to help you build a thriving self-publishing business. Let's start with the obvious question. If Amazon is so powerful, why would anyone not want to use it? The first reason is competition. Amazon has become quite a crowded marketplace for coloring books. If you search up adult coloring book, you'll see tens of thousands of results there. Sure, there are ways to stand out, but for some people, it just feels too overwhelming. The second reason is control. When you publish a book on Amazon, you don't get to control your pricing very much. You don't get access to your customers' contact details, like their email address, so that you can contact those people in the future. And your books are always subject to reviews, which is something that you can do nothing about. And at the end of the day, Amazon always owns the customer, not you. And the third reason is simply preference. Some people just don't like Amazon. Maybe they don't like the business model, maybe they've had issues with account suspensions in the past, or maybe they just want to build something that feels like it is truly theirs. And I get that. While I personally believe that Amazon is still the best starting point for most self-publishers, I completely understand why some people want to look at other options. And honestly, it's exciting just to see how many different ways there are now to make money with coloring books, especially in the digital space. So let's talk about what a digital coloring book business actually looks like. So instead of, or in addition to uploading your book to Amazon and then waiting for them to print it and ship it every time someone orders your book, you sell digital files directly to the customer. These could be single coloring pages that customers can download instantly. They could be themed bundles of 10 or 20 or 50 different coloring pages, or they could be full digital coloring books in PDF format. Your customer gets their files instantly. They can print those files out at home and they can use them as many times as they want. For you, it means no printing costs, no shipping, and no waiting for royalty reports from Amazon. You make the sale, you keep the money, and you don't have to split royalties with anyone else. And what makes it even more interesting is that you don't actually need Amazon's traffic, because platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest are already filled with people who love coloring. If you have ever seen those videos of someone speed coloring a page, you know how engaging that content can be. Imagine pairing that with your own website where people can click and instantly buy the coloring page that you just showed in a short form video. That's the foundation of a digital coloring book business. Now, let me show you a couple examples of this in action. On Etsy, there are shops selling digital coloring pages that get thousands of reviews. Remember, only a small percentage of buyers leave reviews. So if you see 2,000 reviews on a $5 coloring page download, you can bet that the seller has made tens of thousands of sales, because only something like 1 or 2% of people who purchase something come back and leave a review. Now, in fact, the biggest coloring book brand on Amazon, Coco sells digital versions of their coloring pages on Etsy. Did you know this? They've made 81.8 thousand sales in the 2 years that they have been on Etsy. And basically, they've just taken all their coloring pages that they've already created for their books that they publish on Amazon, bundled them up into 10, 40, 50 batches of coloring images, and they sell them. And you can see here on Etsy how many people have them in their basket, how many people are going to be checking out to buy these digital coloring pages. And in fact, they also have their own website where they also sell the same things. So they're selling their digital coloring pages across multiple different platforms in order to capture as many customers as they possibly can. So they're coming at it from all angles. They're selling paperback versions of their books on Amazon. If you are in the coloring book space, you would know that they also now have a publishing deal with a traditional publisher where their books are now in stores all around the world. And they've hit the digital coloring book market as well, and they're getting all those people who just want to buy digital coloring pages that they can print out themselves. Another example that I just want to show you is somebody called Bobby Goods. Bobby Goods do not sell their coloring books on Amazon, but they sell them through their own website, physical coloring books through their own website. But they also have digital downloads. So they've done the same thing. They've bundled up 3 or 4 of their coloring pages into a product, and they're selling them for $10, $13 each. People can come on here who prefer to print them out themselves. Bobby Goods got very, very popular from posting their books and their coloring pages on TikTok. And one more example that we have here is Coloring Book Cafe. Coloring Book Cafe is another publisher on Amazon. They do very well on Amazon, but they also have their own website where they are also selling digital coloring books. This person or this publisher just basically takes their books and sells the full book in a digital version. So there I've showed you 2 examples where they publish on Amazon as well as through other platforms, and one where they basically just publish through their own website and rely on promoting them on social media. On TikTok, there are people who have built entire brands around their coloring pages. They post short videos of themselves coloring. They link to their website in their bio or within the comments if people ask where to buy the book, and that's how they make sales. A lot of them don't even bother with Amazon because their audience is so engaged on social media. People are doing this right now and it's working. Okay, let's break this down step by step. Step 1, choose a platform. You don't need to hire anybody or spend thousands of dollars having an online store or a website made. You can use Shopify if you want a full e-commerce store, or you can use WordPress with WooCommerce if you already have a blog or website, or you can use something like Gumroad if you want the most simple possible setup. Step 2, create your product listings. Think of this like your Amazon book listing if you were publishing on Amazon, but you get full control over how it looks. Upload your coloring pages or the full books as PDFs that can be downloaded. Add some beautiful mock-ups. Canva makes this super, super simple. Show the insides of your pages so that people know exactly what they're getting. Step 3, set up payment and delivery. All of the platforms that I mentioned let you connect to PayPal or Stripe so that customers can pay with a credit card. The digital file that you've uploaded to your website is then automatically sent to them, so you do not have to manually email anything to the customer. Number 4, brand your store. Just pick a simple name, add a logo, and maybe use a consistent color palette. This does not need to be complicated. Remember, people are here for your coloring pages, not fancy designs or fancy branding. And that's it. In just a few hours, you can have a fully functioning digital coloring book online store. Now, of course, the store itself won't make you money. You cannot just sit back and relax, wait for the sales to roll in. You need to bring people to it. And this is where platforms like TikTok and Instagram come in. TikTok is amazing in particular for this because coloring is so visual and satisfying to watch. I do have many past videos where I share TikTok coloring brands who have seen massive success promoting their coloring books on TikTok. Here are some content ideas that you could use. Speed coloring videos. Record yourself or someone else coloring a page. And just as a side note, once you do start building a brand where people start following you and they start buying your coloring book, something really exciting happens, and that is that they start sharing videos of them coloring your books. And so you end up having all these people who love your coloring books promoting them for you. Another idea is before and after transition. So just show a blank page and then the finished colored version, so you don't actually have to film yourself coloring the whole page. You can share tips and tricks, so short videos on coloring, on blending, shading, or choosing colors. And you can show videos behind the scenes, show how you design the pages. People love seeing behind the scenes of how things are created and really getting to know the brand and the creator behind the brand. And the great thing is you don't need to show your face if you don't want to. In fact, the majority of coloring book brands don't don't show their face or use their voice in any of their videos. The art itself becomes the star of the content, not you. And every video that you post should have a simple call to action, something as simple as download this coloring page from my website, or something like link in bio for the full book. And this doesn't have to stop at TikTok. You can repurpose these short form videos that you create for TikTok, or Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and even Pinterest idea pins. All of these platforms reward visual content, and coloring is the perfect fit. Now, one of the biggest differences between selling coloring books off of Amazon is the profit margin. On Amazon KDP, if you sell a coloring book for, let's say, $9.99 in a paperback version, you'll usually end up with around about $3 per book sold after all the printing costs and Amazon's cut has been taken out. But when you sell digital coloring books or digital coloring pages on your own website, it is a totally different story. Let's say that you create a bundle of 25 coloring pages and you sell it for $9.99 as a digital download. You don't pay for printing, you don't pay for shipping, and once you've uploaded the product, it is there forever. If you make one sale, you pretty much get to keep all of the $9.99 minus a tiny Stripe or PayPal fee. Now, imagine if you sell 10 bundles in a week. That's about $100, and that is almost 100% profit. No costs, no waiting for Amazon for 2 months to release your royalties. The money hits your account almost instantly. And you don't need to stop there. You can sell smaller sets at a smaller price to attract new customers. You can sell bigger bundles at higher prices, and you can even set up monthly subscriptions where customers pay each month to automatically get new coloring pages from you. So while Amazon is amazing to scale because millions of people shop there every day, your own store gives you more profit per customer that is often 5 to 10 times higher. Of course, there is the flip side, and that is traffic. On Amazon, people are already there searching for books exactly like yours. Off Amazon, you are the only one driving people and driving potential customers to your website. Which brings me to the next point, the benefits and the negatives of selling away from Amazon. Now, let's break this down honestly, because while selling away from Amazon sounds great, it is not perfect. So here's the benefits. The control. You set your own prices, you get to decide exactly how your products, your product listing, your website, and everything like that, how it looks. And I think most importantly, you own your own custom list and you have their contact details to contact them in the future about new products. You get higher profits. Every sale is yours and you do not have to share that money with anyone. There's no printing costs, there's no royalty delays, there's no change in royalties or profits unless you decide to change them. You have flexibility. You can sell bundles, single pages, subscriptions, and a whole bunch of things that you just cannot do on Amazon. And you've got brand building. Now, you still can create a brand on Amazon, but when you have your own website, you really are creating something that is purely yours, not just a listing on Amazon's website. Now, here is the negatives. Traffic is solely and totally on you. While you do also need to drive customers to your books on Amazon, people are already there shopping, and you have access to Amazon ads, which targets specific Amazon customers. With your own website, you have to attract customers from absolutely zero. There is a learning curve. You will need to learn the basics about marketing, social media, email lists, as well as using the platform that you choose to use to host your online store with. But again, this is something that you have to do if you sell your books on Amazon too. There is real consistency required. Sales won't just come in automatically like they sometimes can with Amazon. You need to keep showing up. So is it harder? In some ways, yes, but is it worth it? Absolutely, especially if you're willing to play the long game and be consistent and persistent. Now, here's something that I really recommend. Instead of choosing one or the other, think about using both. Here's how it could look. So you publish your physical coloring book on Amazon. This gets you exposure to millions of potential customers who would never find you otherwise. Inside your book, you have a page that says something like download free bonus pages here, and you have your website address, and then people can come and visit your website to get access to those freebies, which will be how you collect their email addresses. Now you have a customer and their contact information that you can sell more digital products to completely away from Amazon. This way, Amazon becomes your traffic source, but your real business happens on your own website. So although you're publishing a physical book on Amazon, your focus is always going to be on building your own website and promoting those books off of Amazon. And the reverse works too. So if you are promoting your digital coloring books on TikTok, you could say, if you want a paperback version of this coloring book, you can grab it on Amazon. Some people prefer the physical book that they can hold, and others prefer digital downloads, and you can just give them both options. This hybrid model is honestly the most powerful approach. You get Amazon's reach and the profits and control of your own store. So let me walk you through a super simple launch plan so you can see how easy this can be. So create your product, pick 20 or 25 coloring pages, maybe around a theme, like animals or nature or mindfulness. And once you've created them, export them as a PDF. Set up your store on Shopify, or for those who want something super simple, use Gumroad. And then you upload your PDF and set your price. Create some really beautiful mock-ups. Use Canva to create really nice images of your pages on a tablet or as printed sheets. And then start posting content. So record short clips of the pages being colored in, post them on TikTok, and link them back to your store. Offer a free sample. So create a mini freebie, maybe just a couple of pages, and give it away in exchange for email addresses. So now, instead of waiting for people to find your posts on social media, you can just email them whenever a new product is released. And that is it. No Amazon, no ads, no complicated setup, just a simple product, a simple store, and consistent marketing. And now it starts to get really exciting. Once you've sold one coloring book or one bundle, you can start to create more. Each new product is another chance to make sales, more opportunities to make money, and the stronger your brand becomes. And over time, your shop will just fill up with options. And customers who buy once often come back to buy more. So to wrap up, do you need Amazon to make money with coloring books? No, it is still the best platform for reach and scale, but it is not the only option. You can build a coloring book business completely away from Amazon, selling digital products directly to your audience that you build up on social media, keeping more profit and having full control. The benefits? That's higher margins, direct customer relationships, and more flexibility. Downsides? I personally don't really see too many downsides that would stop anyone from doing this, but you're responsible for getting your own traffic and building your brand. But you still have to do that to a certain extent if you publish on Amazon anyway. So what is the best approach? Honestly, in my opinion, it is a hybrid model. Use Amazon for exposure, but maybe not have it as your main focus, and use your own store for control and for profit. So if you have been waiting because Amazon feels too crowded, or you just don't love the idea of depending on them, here is your sign. You don't need them. Start with one digital coloring bundle, set up a simple store, and post your first TikTok today. You'll be surprised at how quickly it can grow when you stay consistent. And remember, the most important step is just starting. Don't let Amazon or the fear of competition hold you back from building your own coloring book business. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too. So please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.